Oh my goodness. Hey everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh. People are just crazy today. Welcome to Be So Live. Oh my God. Okay. I just want to look at my calendar real quick. Because ever since we went through the energy of Kali Yuga, there's just been some weird stuff going on. Okay, full moon, today's 28. Okay. Okay, no portals. Our last portal energy was on the 24th. So, yeah. All right. So, welcome to Be Sunlight. I'm Priestess Makala, as well as Niana, as well as Felicia. You pick and choose. It still comes back to me. So, I don't even know where to start. Um, let's start with yesterday. I wanted to come on yesterday, but I was a little bit tired after going downtown. All the crazy energy they got going on down there. um, so I went downtown. We went to Evangeline's, and then we went to um, I forgot what that other store is. Um, I can't remember what that store was. It was another pretty crystal shop. It outlasted Oology. I guess Oology finally just moved out because it just, the person who was overseeing it at the time, I guess he just couldn't keep going anymore. So um, it's gone. So I'm like, okay, let's just keep it moving. So yesterday, when we went down there early because I said, no, let's go early because I don't want to be there getting in the afternoon when everybody's already waking up and they're coming down and have to deal with all that energy. So I'm like, no, let's go early so we can get down there and do our thing. So we went early and we were waiting for a friend of ours to show up. And I went to this silver jewelry store. I kept saying, I've never been in there. I think I want to go in there. So I went there. And as we're standing there on the side, I was texting her, telling her where we're going to be. Now, this is really important. As your light gets stronger, as you receive more codes and divine codes, I must say, the people who are not working on themselves or who have drugged themselves out or their bodies are no longer where their soul resides, they're fractured and they have hitchhikers on them. These hitchhikers are going to be the ones, when they see your light, they're going to go out of their way to make themselves known that they see you. And I thought it was really interesting how I handled this. So this guy comes around a corner. You can tell he was homeless because the way he was dressed and the way he was kind of very disshuffled because there's a lot of homeless downtown Sacramento now, and Old Town Sac, I should say. So he was a little bit disheveled, and I'm walking, and next thing I know, he walks past me, and I kind of just see him, and I'm like, okay, and I go back to my texting, and he literally stops like 50 feet away from me to make this look. It's like he just went and then turned, and I'm like, oh, here we go, a dark beam. So he turns around and he starts talking all this gibberish saying low things about how some people have it and other people don't, and you should give money to me and all this stuff. And I didn't even hear all the rest of it because I was texting my friend. And then this nap thing comes around, and all of a sudden, I just, when he starts going off, I go, and he stops talking because I'm like, because I'm trying to fight this nap thing off. And he stops and he goes, yeah. And then he doesn't know what else to say. He walks away. And then I go, well, I guess I handled that pretty good. Thank you, Creator. I didn't see that coming. Thank you. So I go back to my thing. He's gone. So I said, okay, so there's going to be a lot of that going on. So after we do our thing, come back, and then today I go out, go for a walk, and we're walking. And this happened like, what, 30 minutes ago. Walking, I'm on the phone talking to one of my practitioners and friends out on the East Coast. And this guy is like talking on his phone really loud, and he's cussing out this woman on the phone and saying the most derogatory things. Now, me and the young one, we're walking. So we literally get off that sidewalk where he is, walk across the way because we're not interacting with that lower energy. And we'll decide we're just going to walk around him and his craziness. And he's talking loud and degrading and saying all this stuff as loud as he can on this phone. And I've been noticing this a lot with people who, ever since the moon came in, ever since Kali Yuga came in, that energy, ever since, I've been noticing these people attacking each other, yelling at each other, and as man and woman, and they're going off and saying these derogatory things and belittling. And I'm just like, whoa. And some of the things that are coming out of the men's mouth is so, not all men. I want to make sure I'm talking about men that are having issues in their tissues. That that is so cutting. Are these words, depending on what kind of relationship you have with your mother or your sister or however you see women, are these the words that you use to talk to them? I'm like astounded at the level of consciousness that some people have and how they're talking out loud in parking lots on their phones, cussing someone out. Because what? Who are you looking for an audience from? You know, why are you doing that? So just know as your light goes up, you're gonna see a lot of this. You're gonna see the hitchhikers that are riding on their host and try to interact with you or try to infringe upon your sacred space. Um, One of the things I really want you to just pay attention to, this is when you do want to have an active shield of light around you that sends out and emanates that force field of love energy because it will transmute that. Um, it- then there's times you're just going to have to just get very coded and do that. Me, I don't have a problem with going straight into light language and derailing it. But fortunate for him, I was fighting off a nap thing. My arms were flailing all over the place, and that was enough to make him go, "Yeah, it's not working on her." So let's talk about ley lines, and I want to give this shout out to an elder Rod about this. Um, I thought it was really interesting because I was listening in to this lecture, and I was like, and it was said really quick. Know where you're born and know what ley lines you were born on. Hi, lovely. Know what ley lines you were born on, and then know exactly what star system aligns with that ley line. So I'm like, what? Now, if you're 3 or 2 years old or 4 or 5 years old, you already know the answer to this. Those of us that have been on this planet for a while that came in through the amnesia notch, we're just rediscovering ourselves. So the 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 year olds, they got it made in the shade. They already know all this stuff. Okay, so got to put the credit where the credit is. Blessed, love them, love them, love them. Protect them, protect them, protect them. Um, so I'm like, hmm, okay. Well, let me just see. You know me. Let me just check this out and see what this is. Okay. So I check it out. I put my stuff in. I check it out, and I'm like, I was born on a ley line. What? And I get the name. I'm not gonna say all the stuff, but let me just kind of do it like this. I Archangel Michael rules this ley line. Let's put it that way. Okay. So I get that information. Then, because I went into Bing and I'm putting in asking in Bing, GP chat, asking this info. So he can get me to where I want to go find the info. He pulls it up really quick. So then I ask, then what planet or star system aligns with this ley line? And 6 times it was saying, I don't understand this question, or I don't understand. So then I put in what constellation aligns with this ley line. Boom. Got the constellation. And I was like, what? So then I write down all the info and I'm looking it up and I'm reading it and I'm like, are you effing kidding me? And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm reading it and I'm going into it. And it's a rabbit hole when you go down and you find out all the lights come on. All the lights come on, why certain things happen when I go and travel, why they're always double checking me, why they casually pull me over to the side and I come through a different type of line for some reason. Never been in trouble with law or nothing. Okay. Um, yeah, I gotta knock on wood nowadays. So, I don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. I'm your crystal walking tarot card book walking person. I'm nobody, you know. So this is how I play it in the Matrix. So, but it starts making sense. And one of the things I caught was they know the ones that were born on certain ley lines. They know who you are, and they watch you to see what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure I give them a lot of run for their money because I get shadow banned on here a lot. And Instagram, I can't even do lives on there because they don't even show it. So I'm like, okay, I can just put my little videos up and then show the hell out of those with the music and everything. But to do lives like I used to on there, it's like, oh, it doesn't register. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how this is going to be played. Whatever, go ahead. So after I find out what the constellation is, I do the research on that. I find out the planetary system that I originate from in coming down in this lifetime. And I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And I read all the stuff and I look at all the crystals, were right on point. You came from this system, and these are the crystals that you are attracted to. Quartz, labradorite, black tourmaline, and rose quartz, and amethyst. I'm like, well, I got tons of labradorite all around me because it reminds me of this planet, of the waters on it, and how clear the waters were. And I was just like, I'll type it in. I'm not going to say it. It's the system, the star system. There's three stars that line up, and they have there's markings that these people, these star people, have on them that shows where they come from. That they come from the system. There's three markings, like a birth birthmark, and I have that. And I was like, I just I sat there, this was like a moment, like, like in Fifth Element and like in, oh, I don't know. It's one of those moments where you sit back and you're saying to yourself, it's one of those moments where you sit back and you say to yourself, that's why I have this marking on me. I just thought I had some kind of weird skin thing going on. Yeah, only on one leg. That doesn't make any sense, you know. Um, and it literally matches up with the star constellation of that. And I remember when I took a picture of it and I sent it to a friend of mine's, Tara, and I had her take a look at it, and she goes, "That looks like a star constellation." And I go, "I know. Doesn't it look kind of weird?" She goes, "Yeah, especially those three in the center that go straight across. And those three that go straight across are in this constellation." So I'm telling you, I went down that rabbit hole. I was down that rabbit hole for a good maybe 3 hours. I don't even think Alice could have given me any kind of tea to get me out of that rabbit hole because I was down there way past tea time. I was way down there. And you just follow it. Now, here's something I want you to think about. Once I found out where this ley line was, it goes up to Shasta and then it comes back through and goes through Arizona and then it cuts through and goes all the way up to Ireland. That's when I almost about separated myself really quick dimensionally and then came back like this. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Love Mount Shasta. I can't help myself. Love to be around water. Can't help myself. I want to get in the water of the lake and stuff because I don't know. I just have some weirdness with that. It's really weird. I don't know what it is. It's the feeling of not being able to feel anything underneath me. I don't know what that is. So I'm thinking to myself, and I said, wow, this is really crazy. How a ley line. Now, say like you go and you do the research and you don't find a ley line where you were born at. What ley line are you sitting on where you're living right now? Did you move suddenly? Did you move somewhere? This is where you want to go and type in what ley line runs through this area, this city that I'm living in. And then ask what star constellation aligns with this ley line. Okay, aligns with it. Type the name of the ley line in if you get it. Then make sure you ask what the star constellation alignment is, and then read what comes up. And so I sat with it, and I was just blown away with the info because it's not enough to just do astrology and go through your astrology, you see your stuff, and you kind of line it up. You look at your info and blah blah blah. You're like, oh, I got a rising here. Oh, somebody was retro here, and oh, Pluto's sitting on my Leo, so something's going on. So you're like, whoa. So when you do this, there's something that will happen to the inside of you when you're looking at it. And I had this moment where I went, the only way I can show it is like I went whoop, like that. And it's almost like all those dreams I've had where you get the key, you have the key, you put it in the door, you open the door, all this light is revealed, going into the Hall of Mentes, going into the library, being able to access all those wisdom books, touching those books, all in dream world. But remember, a dream world is the extension of our consciousness, the messenger place, the place where our spirits like to go and get info and then come back and interact with us and show it to us later. So dreams have all those hidden messages, everything, especially now more than ever. So I started asking all these questions. I said, okay, so if I'm sitting on this ley line and this ley line runs and it goes all the way up to da 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 da, what's this mean? Said you have a key access to this energy, this this ley line, this timeline, this ley line, this life force line. And I was like, oh wow, okay. How do I want to use that? I'm like, how do I want to really kind of use that? So I'm sitting with these codes that have been coming in, and I've already wrote out the codes for removing these shields. That's shield work, and I've been using it on a few of the people that I know to see how it works, and the results have been phenomenal. And I'm like, wow, why is it that we come here? And I get it. I get it. We're supposed to self mastery, and there's all this mastery thing that we have to do. And, we discover how magical beings we are. And I totally get it. But it's kind of like it wastes a lot of our time to try to get the answers to ourselves if we are here to do our mission. And I know it's all about, you're discovering what your mission is and what you're supposed to be doing. But man, this would have been great to know all this shit maybe when I was in my 20s, but I was too busy trying to fit in with the matrix because I didn't realize it was the matrix at that time. I just thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. You graduate from high school, you go to college, you get a nice stable job, you go, oh, what am I going to go? Oh, I'm going to go into nursing. I'm going to do my nursing. And then you utilize yourself in the job, to be in that job, justified of belief or just of belief is the job. It's just of belief that job is your key to your life. It's going to take care of everything. Yeah, until you get sick and you don't have the health benefits anymore. If it takes you out of that just above or just of belief, that job. Think about it. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this puts a whole new twist on stuff because it's a living map of energy of how these so-called draconian beings watch you, and then how they set things in motion to try to mess with you, to throw you off your track. They'll come through your friends and family to insult you and throw you off track, make you feel like you're not worth anything, you're not good enough, and blah, 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 blah. Fighting with hidden energies that don't look like people that should be in your space in the first place, you know? So when you go down that rabbit hole and you find out that info, or you use it and find out where your ley line is of where you are right now, research it and then find out how it's interacting with you. What things have happened to you since you've been to this space, this place? Does it push you to does it kind of like send out a pulse to have you go somewhere or to do something? Like all earlier this morning I was hearing rain, but it wasn't raining outside, but I was hearing it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, where is it raining at? That I need to be hearing this. Where am I hearing all this rain? It was the weirdest thing. I was like, I'm hearing rain. Like literally, I said, oh, it's raining outside. I go, look, bone dry. Ain't nothing coming out from the sky. I'm like, oh, so this is a predicament. It's not raining. What do I do? What's happening here? So really take a look at that. And I'm inviting all of you to ask yourself, what ley line are you on and why? What are you doing there? What are some of the things that are happening? Is it inspiring you? Are you meeting interesting people that get you? Are you kind of like in this space of healing yourself and you're trying to figure out what's going on type of thing? But the ley lines, what is that? What is that going to? Yeah, I use Bing. I went into the Bing app. I put it on my phone because, Bing comes back and says, well, I don't know. I don't have the info to that. Where's my phone? I guess my phone is put away. So, anyway, the Bing, you go into the app of Bing, and also the app of Bing and the app of DuckDuckGo. Okay. I like using the app versus going on a laptop and doing it because with the app, you can go right in it, do your thing, especially on DuckDuckGo, and there's no tracking. They got the little flame thing you hit and it gets rid of all the stuff you were looking at. At least they say it does, you know. So take a look at that and see where are you with a ley line. And then look how that interacts in your life and what that energy is all about. Because for me, it makes a lot of sense. All the things that's happened to me in my life and things where I should have been dead, you know, just because I'm on that ley line. It's got a mark on me from where I was born. And then it continues because I go to these places where Shasta is, and then Arizona, and then it shoots up to Ireland. Now, I've always had this draw to go to Ireland, but I've never made it yet. And here's the thing, there's so many times when we come back and we incarnate through this world, coming here, doing things. A lot of times what we do, we leave information or mapping things for ourselves in different locations on this planet. So at a given moment or time, when that time clicks over and it goes click, a memory snaps in and it's this energy, I got to go to blah, blah, blah. Then you go there and there's these pieces. You meet these people, you come in contact with this object, you get this, you know how to use it, da, 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 da. It's all this seeking and finding and using things and putting puzzles together. Everyone comes together and meets at a certain timeline, at a certain time. Okay. Yes, yes. It's all about the maps. So it's just pay attention to that. I really, you know, when the elder had spoke about it, I was like, huh? And I just started going down the rabbit hole. And it's very interesting how when you really decode yourself and you really figure out who the hell you are and you start mapping it out, it's a different ball game. Then you know why there's certain things coming at you because why they're doing it. And then you can head it off. Like I had a dream, and I had talked about this with another elder, and I said, look, I had this dream of Black Panther. I was going this I know this is gonna sound crazy, guys. It was like out in like an Amazon of forest area. It looked like it was hot and had some big ass trees. It looked gorgeous. But I was gonna go have some kind of chai drink at this little cafe out in the middle of this Amazon area. And I walk in and it's like hot, sweaty. I can see myself. I sit down at this little wooden table and it's this dirty little floor. It's like earthy floor. And I'm like, just want to get my hot chai. But I feel a presence and I look over my shoulder and there's this Black Panther coming through the doorway of the cafe and heading straight towards me. And I get up and I decide I'm gonna run because it's now, oh my God. So it starts chasing me. Black Panther's chasing my butt. Everywhere I'm going, I'm running, I'm trying to get away from it. I even went up on the ledge and everything, trying to get away from it. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. Then when I get into the middle like of the Amazon itself and I see this hummingbird perches for a second and then comes back out and it circles around. And then as soon as it starts flying right in front of me, the panther stops and just simply lays down and looks at me. I woke up. I was like, what the hell? I'm getting, there was no Wakanda right there. I was getting chased. Where were my people? I was getting chased all over the place. Didn't even finish my chai. I don't even think I had a chance to sip the chai until the panther shows up. Because I was not feeling this. I was too busy running. Like, what do you want? So an elder explained it to me and told me what it was linked to, third and fourth Lemurian. And it had a lot to do with a Black mother panther, jaguar. And I was like, now I gotta go decode that. Gotta go figure that out. And when I say decode things, I simply mean that I have to now go look that up and then sit with it, go up into my higher self and ask these questions, come back down, and then say, okay, is there codes I need to write for this? Is there stuff I need to write down and decode and put the codes in? Is there light language with this? What do I need to do? Is it just for me to know? So it's just pay attention to your dreams and how the dreams are coming in and how things are interacting. So as we have, as women, have moved through this, and I'm seeing this, and I am starting to really see how the women are coming into this divine coded energy of creator that's been imprinted on us and how we are processing it. Some of us have a lot of grumblingness going on in our belly. How's your belly doing? Is it like talking really loud all of a sudden for no reason? And you're like, God, what is that? I didn't, hardly ate anything. It's making all this noise. It's so embarrassing. And, and it's just going through the thing. Now, I want you to go back like a couple, maybe go back a year and look at your body process when the energy really started spinning on and increasing on the planet. Look at how you were dealing, how your weight, you ballooned up, but your weight wasn't really showing your way. You're just retaining more water. You feel more puffier. You're sleeping, and then it's waking up. Intermittent. You're not eating like you used to. You're craving certain things. Like for me, this particular alignment, when I did the research, has mermaid written all over it. I've been eating the hell out of cabbage. You want to know why I'm eating the cabbage? I'll tell you why. Because from my understanding, if you have mer energy, you like crunchy stuff. You like to make that crunch sound. Okay. The cabbage helps with the crunchiness. It helps with, I want to crunch on something. It's a lot better than me going and grabbing chips because I was doing the chips and salsa thing because of the crunching, the crunch sound. More people like that crunch sound because that's what you do. When you're in the water, you're there's little things that you grab and you get your nourishment. Hello. So I have this thing where I like to have the green cabbage and I slice it up, put it in a bowl, drizzle olive oil on it. I like to put my sea salt sprinkle on it. I like to put the fennel and different cumin seasonings on top of it. Yes, raw. It's not cooked. I'm not cooking it. I cook it. I slice it up and put it in a bowl, a little bowl, and then I pour a little bit of vinegar on top of it, black pepper, and a little bit of cayenne, and then I squeeze some lime juice on top of it. Yes. What do, what do? Yes. And then I take it one step further. I slice up either sweet onion or white onion, just a little bit, and put that on top and get it all nice marinated into the mixture. I sit down, go down on my cabbage, and, and all I'm doing is swirl, 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 crunch, 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 crunch. And literally, when I'm doing that, it's the weirdest thing. I feel water sensation. I see water, and I'm happy. And it's like swirl, 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 crunch, 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 swirl, 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 crunch, crunch, crunch. So good. It's very cleansing. Let me tell you that. Okay, it's very breaking up anything, cleaning the mucus lining. It's very cleansing. I was having a cleansing moment after eating all that, but it was so good because if you're getting the organic, for sure, green cabbage, it has such a nice sweet taste to it, and it's just that after you swirl it, and yeah. So that's what's been going on with that crunching sensation. So if you're feeling that, instead of going and getting all the chips, unless it's organic, and say like if you're doing organic chips and salsa or something, the tomatoes, you probably like the taste of the tomatoes and you're kneading it because you might just want to feel that nice spiciness. I like the spiciness of salsa. So if that's something that you're doing, there's a reason. So find out if you have mer energy. Because if you have mer energy tied into any of these ley lines, tied into any of these constellations, tied into any of these planets in those ley lines and those constellations, in those constellations, that's why. So I was just like, who would have ever known? Yeah. I could just see myself. What if I knew all this knowledge now that I know now that I've been knowing ever since I just really woke up more around 2012? I was already waking up in 1997, 96. I was already knowing what my gifts were, but you have periods of more waking up you stepping into. But I could have just sworn. What if I would have loved to use this as a call-in, saying like if I didn't feel up to going in to work in nursing, on a job that I really wasn't liking anymore, and it was stressful. I could just see myself calling in saying, "I'm sorry, I can't come in today. I'm having a mermaid moment and I really need to get some cabbage and start crunching on it." It'll help kind of bring me in more to focus and more grounded into myself. And so I'm calling out today because I'm needing a mermaid moment. How well do you think that would have went over? Yeah, I would have got, trust me, written up a warning because I'm not complying with the system. So glad I'm not in those days anymore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so much happier to be doing what I'm doing. And that's what it's all about. It's really finding what you are called to do. So I wish that. Yes, 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 yes. 2012, from what I understand, because I was at the Star Knowledge Conference in 2012. I was out in Arizona at the Star Conference. Never been. I was invited to be there, and I was introduced to Golden Eagle. I was introduced to a lot of the grandmothers out there because I was a newly going into Sundance. I had already completed like my first 1 year a Sundance commitment. I had 3 more years of commitment to do. So that was coming in around that time when I was making that commitment. So to go and be at this meeting was huge. 2012. I just remember everything that was going on in 2012 was like this pivotal moment in my life where things were changing massively, where I really made a commitment and I said, I'm done with nursing. And then when I wouldn't stay out of it, Creator took care of it and made sure that my knee meniscus blew so that I would not be able to stay there. Yeah, took it right out. As soon as that healed up, I was thinking I could go tiptoe back in. And, oh yeah, no, 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 no. That wasn't going to happen. So I just wanted to hop on here and share that. Let's take a look at the cards. Today we're going to be really diving into a lot of the divine feminine energy. And I'm going to do something a little different. So yesterday while I was out, I got this set. And I was like, I don't have that. I like this lady. I like her books. Her books are really good. Then I got this one, Anatomy of the Witch Oracle. This one's really cool. I like the artwork. I like the way how it's organized. I'm going to do a separate video about the pictures of them, going through the cards. But for the sake of this video, all I want to do, let's just use the messages for what we need to use them for. And they're really neat. In fact, the inside of the box is so cool. I love this. This is the back of the cards. Pretty. And pay attention to the dates that you're getting your cards. Okay, pay attention to the dates of the cards. Okay. And the reason why I say that, because of the energy that we're all moving through, you want the energy to be matching you. Okay, so just kind of pay attention to the energy of the cards of when you're purchasing your cards. When were they made? Were they made in 2012? Were they made in 2008? Is that going to be an alignment for you, or is your alignment a little bit beyond that? If you're getting cards that are more enmeshed in history or has some really depth cosmic energy to it, it really won't matter, because I have a couple set of cards like that are very cosmic, and it doesn't date times dates. It doesn't matter about that. So everyone get your pens and papers out and just remember what I said. Your divine homework is going to be to find out what ley line you were born on, find out what the constellation alignment is of that, go down that rabbit hole. If you don't have that, then where are you living currently right now? Why are you there? So were you assigned there? Because when I really look at it, when there's astral meetings and we go into the astral plane and having cosmic meetings, I've been a little bit not, I've been a little bit more on the warning side with a lot of light workers saying, everyone, please stop conjugating all up in one space where everyone's just going all the way over in Florida. Everyone's going over here, going into Texas. And, I said, I'm still in California area and I'm still holding the light there. I'm holding the space there. And a lot of people have been leaving that space. So, and I get it too, because here, just holding the space for California and just really, when I go up to Shasta and working with the Stargate up there and doing the work and putting the prayers out, just to anchor more and more light. Every time I do any type of song or any type of code work, it's just that much more of anchoring the light there. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, that 2012 was a turning point for a lot of us. That was like the flipping of the switch. And I believe, really, that was a true ending timeline of the Mayan calendar as the way they saw it. But I know one thing for sure, the draconian timelines just all inverted, all made up. That's why it's so easy to just really be in your true divine self. You have to be, because at this point in the game, it's like you have to trust the self. You have to have a deep relationship with yourself. It's so important right now. It's so important to get rid of all your doubts and your fears of you. Get rid of that. I can't stress it enough, because it's kind of like this. If you've ever watched Charm, and they were right on the money on a lot of things that they were teaching and how they were putting things together in that show. And that show really did a lot about, fear, how certain things would show up and it would get a handle on them through their fears. So because this planet is based on fear manipulation, they're able to really control the masses with fear. Masses. Control the masses with fear. Okay. I'm going to do an anatomy card. These two. And I really like how they say embodied, the guide for the embodied witch. And witch stands for a woman in control of herself. There you go. And I love these she tarot. I really like these, because they are in your face, right on it. So we got 3 of those today. All right, let's take a look, shall we? First one, oh, from the Mystic Sisters is bass. Yes, what did I just finish talking about? Look at the cat. What do we need to know about this? Bass. The protection, the honoring of oneself. The water cards is sea goddess of creativity, fresh creative joy. Number 27. That's a 9 energy. The sea goddess. I love this. This one is so pretty. That's another thing about cards. They have to feel good and they have to have a lot of color in them. I love cards that have color and good feeling. And this is recognize. To recognize. Recognize. Recognize who you are. Recognize what do you still need to work on. Recognize what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you. The Wild Woman card, create your own paradise, number 30. Yes, we have to create our own paradise. We're not waiting. Who's waiting anymore? Create your own paradise. Create. What does it look like? How does it feel to you? Okay, now the anatomy card, the festival. Being in ceremony, having that time by grandfather fire or the spirit of fire, illuminating by the moon, connection to that. The energies of the stone beings and the earth all connected. How are we celebrating? Belladonna, a vision, caution, guidance, clarity, stand firm. For 28, new beginnings. So standing firm in itself. We're not going to pull a practical magic moment when we give someone too much belladonna and then you're wondering, oh gosh, what did I do? Oh, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing, just in case if you too want to get weird. Belladonna, that's about the visions, having the visions. Okay, and the final 3 cards as we move through. This is really weird, you guys. We're looking at number 8. What's the blame? What's the blame? Shame, guilt, and blame. Number one thing that we hold on to, and it's also the number one thing that brings in dis-ease in the body and that keeps you from healing it. What are you being resistant about? We got this resistant card again, number 9. What is the resistance? What are you resisting? Are you resistant? Are you having resistance moving forward? Are you having resistance in really moving into what you want to do? Or where's the resistance? And then Mother Nature. How is beautiful Mother Earth or Pachamama or the cosmic grandmothers talking to you? Mother Nature. What's being said? Who's showing up? What birds are talking to you? What mysterious animal just shows up when you're getting in your car to go somewhere? Come on, I had a grasshopper on my car the other day. Very weird. I'm like, I never have a grasshopper on my car. What is this? I'm not living somewhere where it's like dirt grounds and it's like when I was on the homestead, it was, it's a lot of earthiness and everything and dirt, flying gravel and all that stuff. Yeah, I can understand that, but come on, this is all paved. Why is it grasshopper? Where'd it come from? And I'm like, I haven't seen any grasshoppers around. Why did you pick my car to land up? Why were you on the driver's side of the car? Could have been on the windshield, could have been on the roof. Why on the driver's side of the car? So I would see you. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? This is a time when you can make that medicine and own that. A lot of times birds like to drop their feathers. So if there's messages that you're looking for and you need an answer to, pay attention to any feather that you find in front of you, like in front of where you're walking, if it's on your car, if it's at your front door, you know, kind of really look at that. I remember once I had I think I was back in the day. I think it was out in the backyard, right in front of the patio door was a beautiful owl feather, and I could tell it was just dropped because it still had just a little bit of blood on the tip of it, right at the base where it hooks in, owl feather. And I remember I was on my way up to Georgetown, go meet with the herbalist teacher up there and talking about plant medicine and stuff. And I brought it and I showed it to her. And she goes, "They've already picked you. They already know this is good." And learning different things of that caliber and going there. And, I didn't do a lot of study with her because then I ended up that was the time when I had to fight for my life, if I was going to stay here or not. Had some cells that were out of balance. And I carried a lot of that unresolved guilt and shame and of being me. And, a lot of us as light workers, we go through that. You want to be yourself, but, oh, well, you can't just be yourself. Do you know how many people like to just go run around and hide all their cards and stuff because they don't want their family to know that they do it? They don't want their families to see their crystals and stuff like that. Oh, I'm out with a new guy I'm dating. Oh, let me hide all my shit because I don't want him to think I remind him like his other woman or something what he had a bad experience with. So you go hide all your stuff. You go through panic mode. And then after everything is resolved or whatever, you bring it back out and you're cool. Those days are over. Stop doing that. It's like this now. And hear me when I say this. They're either going to accept you for who you are, the way you are, for who you are, your authentic true self. Stop hiding your stuff because you're afraid of what they will say. It's not your problem. It's their problem. It's their problem. They chose their path. You chose your path. They don't like it. Oh, well, you're not trying to fit in and please them. And this is what I mean by some people will like you and some people won't. But I don't expect everybody to like anything that I say on here. You can go type in, go to other people's channels. I'm just me. What you see is what you get. I'm saying exactly how it is. You have seen me on here crying. You have seen me on here eating. You have seen me on here laughing my ass off. You've seen me on here really upset about certain things. You've seen me on here ready to fight. You've seen me on here just being raw and in the moment. You see me magical. You see me teaching. I am here in my authentic self and I'm showing you who I am. This is it. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to be, oh, you see me like this, but tomorrow I'm really like this. No, this is it. This is me. If you can't be you and be happy and love with you, then what are you doing? Trying to fit in for everybody else to like you. It starts with you liking you. And it took me a long time to grow into this because I was the one in the school systems getting teased. I was the bookworm. I was the girl that was always getting threatened to be beat up on the bus every day. I was the one that would say things to warn someone, hey, don't go down the stairs and da da da, and say it, and then something happened, then be called a witch later in classroom. I was that person. I was the one that was really quiet. I was that. But you know what? Say it with me. What is our new motto? I will be divinely heard. I am divinely heard. I am divinely seen. I am divinely loved. You are divinely heard. You are divinely seen. And you are divinely loved. And that's all that matters. And let everyone else that can be on your vibration be with you. And the ones that can't hang with you, bye. See you later. See you when you get your timeline straightened out. Let me know when you got a new ticket. There you go. Otherwise, keep it moving because time is speeding up and we don't have time to try to fit into other people's belief system or their way. You have a direct line to source, divine, Mother, Father, God, the true source that lives in you. That's your alignment. No two leg outside of you can tell you how you should live your life. You came here and you signed up for the mission here. So only your soul knows why you're really here. So that's the one you should be having conversation with, divine communication with. No other two leg can tell you. And no other two leg should ever be governing over you. And this is why we're sitting in the mess we're sitting in right now. Because we gave too many two-legged beings that weren't even human dominion over us. Unknowingly. But it's about to get surreal this year. And all I'm seeing this year, and it's already started, is a lot of people who are not matching the frequency dropping. I'm already seeing it. And I'm like, wow, we're not even like 30 days into January already, and I'm already seeing it. Well-known people, and it's a lot with men. So I'm going to say this. If you are a man watching this right now, I hope you are standing in your true divine energy and you walk well and you are well within this in the new world coming in. Your frequency matches. You respect women, the divine feminine energy. We are coming online and we are super encoding this new earth space. It's coming. So those of us women, you've been shy, quiet, sitting off to the side. Oh, how do I put this? You got all that medicine you sit on, but you don't share it with nobody. How about that one? It's time to start talking. It's time to start teaching. It's time to start gathering in sacred ways and coming in and helping others stand in their power of themselves. Each time a woman shares medicine with another woman, that helps to wake up her medicine. Because all of us have something to put to the puzzle that makes it congeal, makes it whole, makes it power, makes it activated. Okay? Pay attention. We're in an 8 year. This is the prep before we get to 25, the 9 year. That 9 was done. Pivot. Done. This is prep to that. Okay. So 8 doesn't mean get caught up in the loop. Mm-mm. Means have that balance. Are you balanced? Don't get caught up in the loop and keep doing this. No, 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 no. All right. Me too. I'm on an 8 path. And I'm like, I'm just gonna have this 8 like this. What's above? What's below? That's how I'm looking at it. Because 8s, you can do a lot of work. You can put a lot of work into a lot of things and you can burn yourself out. But you want to be able to be creative but not looping. You want to be able to create and do new things, not staying stuck in the same old pattern. Even if you get lost going somewhere, that's new. If you go into some store you've never been into before, that's new. You're breaking a pattern. All right. All right, lovelies. Go do your homework. Find out what your ley line is. Okay. Find out what that is. Hear you. Find out what your connection is to that because that's a key. All right. Some of you are walking around with keys and you haven't put it into the door to turn it yet because there's something that still holds you back from stepping all the way through. Get out of the guilt, get out of the shame, get out of the fear, get out of the doubt. Don't invite these four to your dinner table no more, giving them champagne and caviar. Don't do that. Once you heal these and be willing to look at it, some stuff doesn't feel good when you have to go in and look at it. But I guarantee you, when you start finding out what ley line you're on, and when that energy pulses up, because it's like turning on a light switch, because now you see it, now you're making more contact with it and you understand it, brings in that change. Some of you, like I said, you got the key, but you haven't used it yet. What are you waiting for? Put it in there, turn the lock, open the door, walk through. Give yourself that much more power. Because here's the thing, the amount of codes that are coming in right now, divine codes, you got to be able to have those in and process. And those codes can't get fully activated in you if you're still holding on to something 10, 20 years ago, or holding on 5 years ago, or six, somebody said this, da 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 da. It's time. You have to let that go. Because as we move into this energy, the message I got last night was all about initiation. Initiation to levels. Each one of us holds that energy that Mother wants us to walk with. And you have to hold that. So while you're still waiting to get a message, you're getting the message. It's in you. You're getting the message in the middle of the night when you're waking up at 3 o'clock. You're getting the message when you break out in sweat and your body heats up and you're going into crystalline process. You're getting the message when that sun is coming down on you and it hits you and you get the code. I was looking at the sun, I had my eyes closed. All I saw was a flower of light all through my eyeballs. And I'm like, damn, that never happened before. Now I'm seeing that. So could you imagine what that's doing? It's talking to the cells of the body. When you look at the sun and you close your eyes and just gaze, look at the how it sends messages through your eyes. Look at the colors. Look at the shapes. Look how it's talking to you. Oh, it's about to get good. And there's not enough tea that the Mad Hatter could give you, and Alice can't even get you down the hole with it fast enough. So, your meditation, a lot of people get stuck in meditation. You know how I meditate? I meditate in my bathtub. I meditate when I'm writing out a code to heal someone, when I'm writing out healing codes. And I meditate when I'm looking out the window. And when you're in that between receiving messages, you kind of phase out. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can be meditating when you're driving and don't know how you got to where you got to so fast. You'd be like, God, I got here kind of fast. What happened? I don't remember seeing this when I drove. Yeah, we have those moments. All right, pay attention. It's on. Some intense energy is rising up. And I didn't finish what I was talking about with the Kundalini. Now, the Kundalini, this is my personal take on it, what happened to me. When it's being activated and comes through, there's certain things that happens to your physical body that because it's such a high energy that shoots through your body, I want you to understand that when this starts happening to you, you're not going crazy. You don't have some like crazy disease that's coming through, taking your body over. It's just that root chakra, the sacral, solar plexus, all connected, all of those emotions. It starts revving up, okay, especially in the root. And when it starts doing that spin, it's got to shoot up through the spine and come up to the top, hit that crown, activate here, then go back down and do it again. Shoot. It's coding you. Now remember, the spine is where all of our ancestral connection knowledge lies. You ever heard of the traditions of in Hawaii when they walk your back, they're walking on your spine, and your spine is associated with your ancestors. They're connecting you back into your ancestors when they walk your spine. Okay. Lomi Lomi, same thing. It's the connection back into the spirit of self, but loving the body and connecting you with all that you are. So you'll experience heat, you'll experience tremor, Deb, I love you, Deb. My friend Deb, when she was alive, when she hit one of her kundalini, she goes, "Girl, my hey is pulsating." It's just so funny. I was drinking tea at the time when she said it, and I was like spitting it all out. I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Well, I think I'm getting some codes or something because everything is just like vibrating. I don't have." And she's tiny. She was a tiny little something. She goes, "I didn't just be," I'm like, "Yeah, that's coming in." So just know that certain things, and if you have like things like fibroids, endometriosis, those are things that are not in harmony with the body. So you might feel more activity and sensitivity with those things that are trying because it's the lack of love, it's the lack of balance, it's the doing too much for others and not taking care of self that gets those all out of order. Okay, not to mention a lot of our food, drinking from plastic bottles and all of that gets too inundated in our hormones and throws everything off. The sensitivity you'll have. So just know that when that starts coming through, your body's going to really start feeling a lot of sensitivity, a lot of energy circulating, breaking out in sweats, and be like, wow, what's going on with me? All right. Take your baths, get yourself grounded. I'm not kidding you when I say I got rocks all over my bed. I got all different kind of stones I grab hold of. And don't be shocked if you have hit a certain point in your kundalini energy and all of this water comes out of you at nighttime and you think that you peed on yourself. It's just a release of all this water. Okay. Don't be surprised about that. That's a part of it too. I mean, you're sitting back saying, what the hell? I feel like I was in labor, especially if you're having like back pain and you feel like you're having a baby. Now, I've never pushed out a child. I didn't have the honor of that. Had my miscarriage in 1993. It's funny how I still can remember that. But it's just that when those energies are coming in and those codes are coming in, that whole spine is being reset with that golden lights of codes coming through. Everything's being renewed so that you can be in that higher frequency. You can't, that's why being in a higher frequency and a lower frequency, you have to be in your higher one. And it's like that energy can't come where you're going. Okay. It's a lot of getting used to. It's a lot of recalibrating of the self. Does that make sense? Okay. So everyone, yes. One of the things I like doing is just if you can take the time out to get a good massage, find someone that can just oil up your back. And when I say oil up the back, I mean from the cap here to the freaking tailbone. Oil up that spine. Put those nice, beautiful oils on it. The oils that resonate with you. And oil up that spine. And you'll feel so much better. Last week when not last well yeah, last week. Yeah, this past Monday, I got gua sha done. I taught my friend how to do it. I did it on her. I got her activated, did it on her spine, and then she turned around and did it on me. So we both had our activations for that day. Okay. Make these times because it's a part of the curriculum, the divine curriculum of the self. It's a part of that. It's no more of this not taking care of the self, but you're giving to everybody else. You got to take care of you too. This is why you have to know you are divinely loved. Does that make sense? I just want to know, did you find your pennies? Did you get your pennies? All right, lovelies. Love you. I want each and every one of you to remember how powerful you are, no matter what you've been through in your life. I want you to stand in who you are right now and honor that. And do it for the ones who lost the battle. Do it for that. Represent yourself in your divinity and stand in that love of who you are. And be unapologetic to be yourself. Today, the conversation when we were talking about it was so good. I typed in, I'm all out of bubble gum. It's time to just kick some butt. I'm all out of bubble gum. It's butt kicking time. It's time to just be you and stop trying to please others because others aren't going to get it. They're not on your timeline, honey. They're not on it yet. Doesn't mean you give up on them and stuff. It just means you're not trying to, you know, bring them along, or teach them stuff or bring things up or talk about certain things because they don't get it. They're not ready yet. You have to keep moving. That's why I said all aboard. That's what that means. All aboard. Did you get on with the soul train? Did you get your golden ticket? Are you sitting down? Are you going forward? That's what that means. There you go. That's why I said I'm all out of bubble gum. That's why I said that. All right, lovelies. Be good to yourselves. And please, if you're having a mermaid issue and you just feel like you need to just hear some crunching, grab yourself some cabbage and do the recipe and just eat some cabbage. All right. All right, lovelies. Celery works, carrots work. As long as it's crunchy, that's all that matters. All right. Much love to all of you. Please make sure you pay attention to your dreams and the love of yourself. Okay, everyone, you're here now. Say it with me. I am divinely seen. I am divinely heard. I am divinely loved. Be so light. Be divinely aligned. All right, lovelies. Be good to yourself. Much love. See you soon. Bye.